to try to save yourself and save this so-called country or the American empire, which will help to save the world. And once you learn how to do it, the first order of business in your mind is, I want to go see if this dude is cheating on me. I'm going over, I'm going to astral project to his house and see if he got some other girl over there. Or some other stupid stuff that has nothing to do with anything real. Because people get this power and do very ridiculous things with it, like spy on other people, go try to see what other people are doing. They go around trying to disrupt people. They go around trying to attack people. That's not what this is for. And the people that are misruling the world, that's precisely what they're doing with the... See, the people that have told you not to use this stuff, they're sorcerers. This is the stuff that they're using every day to misrule the whole planet. They're doing these blood rituals for a reason, because they didn't comprehend what people were trying to tell them about science, and they misunderstood and they got it bass-accurate because they don't have... what's the word I'm looking for? They don't have, what's the word I'm trying to say? I don't want to misquote this. They have a tendency to misunderstand allegory, and they have a tendency to misunderstand, things that are not literal and allegorical and analogy. They just confuse all the verbiage. So because they confuse all the verbiage, they took stuff literally that wasn't meant to be literal, and they gave you allegory that was meant to be literal, and you misunderstand. Because people think, oh, there's no such thing as astral projection, and there's no such thing as bending spoons with your hand, and there's no such thing as making yourself invisible, and there's no such thing as telepathy. So if you don't believe that, then you should be prepared to die, because the people in charge, they believe it and they're doing it. I told you over the shows, and people, those of you that are listening to this show, and this is the very first time you've ever heard it, I know I'm way out there to you. I've told people before, the very first show was done January 27th. You may want to log off and go back to the first show and come up and get caught current, or don't listen to me at all. I could care less, People that want the information, I'm willing to give it. The people that don't want it, I can tune out and just do me, because I have to build up my own power. I know how to use the stuff. I've been invisible to people standing right there, and they don't see me. I've shown people how to do it. Now, if you don't believe in it, that's your business, because no matter what I say to anybody, belief is a cold piece of work. No amount of proof or facts or evidence or willpower will ever override or supersede anyone's ridiculous belief system. If you believe in a thing so cold and so strongly, nothing anybody can say to you or show you will lead you to the contrary to believe anything otherwise. A belief system is something that you must overcome yourself. I cannot overcome that for you. All I can do is present information, and you can take information that works for you and use it, and information that doesn't work for you, you can toss it and discard it. But I'm telling you, the people that are killing people off are using rituals in a bass-accurate fashion to control people. All of these lethal injections and death row, death penalty, electric chair, and shooting brothers on the street, a lot of that is blood ritual. A lot of these are sacrifices. And, they use this blood spilling and the blood killing, or the blessing, because the word bless means to bleed. The word blessing is to bleed a thing out and to curse and condemn it into the service of the devil. Now, if you don't understand that, then you need to go look up the words that I'm trying to give you, okay? If you don't believe, or if you believe that I'm making stuff up and that I'm lying and I'm way off half-cocked somewhere, and where the blazes am I going with any of it, this is definitely not the call for you. It's not. If you believe that Jesus is going to save you, then you need to go back and keep praying. The word pray means to beg. Look it up in the dictionary. To pray means to beg. To meditate, on the other hand, means to yoke in through yoga, okay? And yoga, especially hatha yoga, is where you use the two sides of the breath and the breathing. And the breath is spirit. And the energy out here in the cosmic is the breath of spirit. Every single thing that is done or seen or said under the sun, no matter how secret it is in fact energy. And as energy, once it's done and it's out there as a thought, as an act, as a word spoken, or as a deed, it's on the cosmic waves for everyone to pick up. That is, everyone that is ready to pick that type of thing up. If you're not prepared to pick it up and you can't tune in, then you can't tune in. Prime example of tuning in. A melanin-rich person can be standing at a red light, and people can pull up to the red light. Actually, the person on the curb can be standing on the curb, and someone can pull up in a car and be sitting there in the car, and they can have their music booming so loud that they're in a whole nother world doing a whole nother thing. But very melanin-rich people, a melanin-rich person can stand at that curb and stare and gaze and focus their energy on the person in the car that's looking straight ahead, and 90 times out of 100, if the person you're doing that to is melanin-rich, they pick that up, they turn around and look dead in your face, because something they picked up is resonating with them. Now, the Europeans can pull up to the same corner. You can stare at them all day, but unless they're the type of European that has done some spiritual work, nothing will make them turn and see you, because they are on a whole different frequency, vibration, and they're not resonating the way you're resonating. So they can't pick it up, okay? Now, light, which people call light, I think light is really dark, but light is an electromagnetic radiation. It is a wave in an electromagnetic field, and it consists of particles that are also called photons, that are also called quanta. And the behavior of these photons, particles, and quanta is governed by a wave in an electromagnetic field. Everything has a magnetic field. A rock has a magnetic field. Now, the people that don't believe in this stuff, that just shows you how stuck on stupid they are. And they're going to say, I'm stuck on stupid for trying to teach it to you. Everything has a magnetic field. That's one of the ways that people are being shut down, because they're creating artificial frequencies around the people. These Bluetooth headsets and the computers and the refrigerators that are constantly noisy, and the televisions and the helicopters and the airplanes and all of these things that create this abrasive resonance to the people. And unless they learn how to tune into themselves and get a silence and a quiet within, they cannot hold their light against this constant imposing attack. It's an artificial attack that's coming at you. Now, as I was saying, if you understand how these lights work, then you can make it. You can start manipulating these resonances and these frequencies and vibrations or waves. This it probably would be better to say that light is a type of wave. It's similar to a wave on the surface of the ocean. That's why I keep trying to tell people that think that doing things are not going to affect you. The very thing that people are doing to destroy people is going to wind up on everybody's doorstep, including their own. A lot of the damage that they're done is going to wind up back on their doorstep, one way or another. It's cause and effect. People cause certain effects to take place by the things they do, the things they say, the actions that they take that are usually the result of their thoughts. Because the things that you think have a tendency to become the things that you say, And the things that you think and say have a tendency to become the things that you do and practice. The things that you do and practice have a tendency to become the things that formulate your habit. And things that are your habits that are done habitually have a tendency to formulate your character. And your character is the thing that has a tendency to go out and make things happen or not happen in the world for you. So one of the fastest ways to change everything that's going on in the world is to start changing the way that you think. You can't change the way that other people think. Just like I'm sitting here, I'm fully aware that I can't change the way any of you think. I'm not here trying to do that. Ain't my job. That's not my job. All I can do is put the information out there. If you want it, you take it. If you don't want it, you know, like I said, Thursday you can call here and call me a quack. You can curse me out, and it doesn't matter to me, you know, because I'm going to do me. But anyway, as usual, I'm digressing. Now, if you understand that these waves are governed by the laws of electromagnetism, you know, the speed of light is it's constant, and it's an electromagnetic wave. And these waves are governed by the laws of electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is a changing magnetic field that produces an electric field. Now, the velocity, which is the distance traveled divided by the time it takes to travel said distance, is usually indicative of a vector and implies that direction is as important as magnitude. A vector, and I know I'm talking over your heads, don't worry. Something that I'm saying, even though it doesn't sound like I'm making any sense to you, in your soul, somewhere in the core of your being, you know what I'm talking about. I'm speaking to your, what you call subconscious or unconscious mind. It understands every single thing there is to understand. You can read a language that you don't know. Somewhere in your subconscious, it comprehends what it's seeing. Every single thing that your eyes lay on, your subconscious mind sees it. It does so much at the same time. It's the most awesome multitasker that you are ever going to see. And I'm trying to help you comprehend just how much power you have and how much you manipulate and navigate this stuff. And I submit that people that don't know what I'm talking about, go back and catch me in order. The order you should follow my work is this. Go to YouTube and watch what they erroneously call Piercing the Fog. After you watch Piercing the Fog, then you watch How to Survive the Fall of Rome. After that, then you can go back to the very first show I did on this particular Blog Talk Network on January 27th of 2011 and follow them in an order until you get to here. Once you get to here, it'll be easier for you to keep up. The people that have kept up with my work, they're already on board and probably wondering, why does she keep repeating for these other people? Man, I already know what she's talking about. Let's go. Just give it to me. Let's do it. But I can't just jump out there because I have people on this thing, and I know this is the first time they've ever listened to me, and they're probably like, what kind of quackiness is she talking? So I have to kind of go back. And absolve me for those of you that are in a hurry and you're ready to take off and let's do this now, because we can do this now, but I would need to talk to you guys on a one-on-one. I can't just put information out there and have somebody go out and do something ridiculous. It goes on to say, my notes, these are my notes, the speed that the vectors that possess magnitude and direction, speed is usually the magnitude of velocity with no regard for the direction. A changing magnetic field is circled by electric field lines. Okay? When these field lines are close together, then the field is strong. That's why you have to start amplifying your resonance so you can tighten up your energy field so you can keep people out of it, like police, auto accidents, tickets, thugs, whatever this kind of nonsense is. Some people think they need to move away to stop it, but it's better to tighten up your field, and the only